I'll be moderating the debate on behalf of the Rice Thresher. We've prepared 2 rounds. The first round will consist of questions by the Thresher. The second round will consist of questions that you write on these index cards, and then signal to the kind people in the back will collect them. The debate will consist of 2 opening speeches, followed by the first round of questioning, which will go in the format of 1 minute and 30 seconds for the first speaker, and then 1 minute to respond to the question and respond to the opponent. We'll go in alternating order. We flipped a coin before the debate, and Navran will lead for the first speech, which will consist of 3 minutes.
Hold that question, Mr. Speaker! Whoa, okay.
What if my pass approaches?
I'm assuming you're talking about me, because she is a mini horse. She's very sensitive about her bite. Yeah, all right.
All right. Good evening, friends and fellow undergraduates. When you think about your preferred essay president, what key things are you going to consider? Personality, experience, maybe vision. I don't want to tell you what your criteria should be, but having had experience in the essay and other organizations on and off campus, I feel that some key attributes of a successful leader include drive, experience, values, and vision. By drive, I mean that the ideal essay president is not only highly motivated, but possesses grit, energy, and determination to meet the hefty requirements of leading and managing numerous projects. In serving as the president of Rice and Power and co-founder of nonprofit World STEMworks, I combined a deep drive with endless commitment to make an impact in empowering underserved K-12 students to enter STEM fields, reaching over 2,500 Houston students in the past 3 years. Now with experience, don't you want to know that your future essay president can back up his or her platform with a past track record? That doesn't just mean having completed projects in the past. Your ideal candidate has clearly shown an ability to lead, not just do, with a proven capacity to empower others to be change agents. Last year's essay senator, I set out with the goal of enhancing student entrepreneurship on campus and work with student leaders to form the Rice Entrepreneurship Collaborative, which now convenes to set and implement Rice's entrepreneurship agenda. With clarified goals and function, the groups within the collaborative now operate with greater budgets, stronger visions, and deeper impact in the Rice community. Now by values, I'm referring to things like valuing open communication, building genuine relationships, possessing integrity, and having a sense of humor. I've had opportunities to live my values in service trips, including alternative spring breaks and international service projects. In May, I co-led a community health education project in Peru, where my team addressed community health concerns for youth in Cusco. Through humility and strong relationships within my group and the Cusco community, I had the fulfilling experience of working together to make sustainable social impact. Lastly, I mentioned vision. How bold and how creative are we talking when it comes to the essay's goals for next year? And at the same time, how realistic, how systematic, and how grounded in planning are these goals? I'm going to be going over some key concepts of my vision for Rice Essay President, and in doing so, I hope to convey that not only are my ideas realistic, they're highly relevant to students at Rice. Moreover, I plan to make it clear that when it comes to drive, experience, vision, and values, I may just be your ideal candidate. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Minji Kim, and thank you all for coming out tonight. And seeing everyone out here reminds me of how we are stronger together. Athletics Together campaign is a great example of what Rice students can achieve when we are all supporting each other. It motivated us to win the 2013 Conference USA Football Championship, and we can accomplish more with this idea extended to the rest of the Rice community. Because when we are all behind one cause, and when we are all united behind one big force, the SA, the Student Association, the administration will listen to our concerns more, and likelihood of change increases. I will aim to promote the essay as a resource for all Rice Owls and encourage more discussion amongst our community. My 3-year experience in the essay has taught me that the voice of Rice students can make an impact. For example, before the school year, Foundering Library had a final schedule of closing at midnight on Fridays and Saturdays, which proved to be inconvenient for students. After listening to a Rice Owl's concern over this issue, I was able to negotiate with the Foundering Library staff as Levis Senator to permanently extend the hours 24/7 during finals. It's remarkable how one Rice student can make a huge impact and lead beneficial changes for everyone. It's Rice Owls and moments like these that make me want to serve as your essay president, and that has fueled my passion to serve as your essay president. As your essay president, I am most definitely going to focus on all of you, on all of us. Your input will be my highest priority as your essay president, because together we can work to enhance the Rice experience. Thank you.
So, firstly, let me say how excited both I and Peggy are to be here with you guys today. It's truly an honor. Okay? So, unlike my competitors, I don't want to just sit here and lecture you. The only reason that I've applied for this position was for the students. I don't want you to see me as an administrator. I want you to see me as an extension of the student body, acting on your own behalf. And because of that, I want to do something that may be unconventional. I want to get the crowd involved, okay? Okay? So when I say vote, you say Dennis, all right? You got it? Vote! Dennis! Vote! Dennis! Vote! Dennis! Vote, vote! Dennis! Gotcha. That's it.
All right, we'll begin with the first question. We'll go to candidate 10, and then we respond to All right, the first question is, currently, what issues do you think the student body cares about most, and how do you plan to address them in the coming year?
Well, during my campaign for essay president, I spoke to some students, I spoke to athletes, I spoke to museums and archies, and some issues that came up were parking, priority registration, grade inflation, and enhancing the study abroad experience. And my campaign of working hard together can make those issues be more noticeable to the administrations. And I can emphasize that all these issues are important for our student body.
Just a time signal. Let me
Oh, okay,
30 seconds
cool.
left.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Am I up now? No.
No, you're certainly not. Would you like to continue?
Oh,
Great.
Okay. I think those are some really important issues. In my time at Rice, I've seen some really important things take hold in the student conversation. One of them is definitely a student center. I think a lot of people have been pushing to kind of have the space be kind of modernized and upgraded. And in speaking with Union, I understand that that's going to be a long-term process. As essay president, I hope to advance that process and open communication with the administration. I hope to make the process more transparent. I hope to engage students. I think students deserve to know where those plans currently lie, where they may be going in the next couple of years. And I believe as essay president, I can kind of help advance the dialogue and maybe get students more involved in the planning and contributing their skills and vision for possibly a new student center. Another thing I definitely think is important that Minju mentioned are capacity issues, specifically within housing, parking, and academics. Clearly, Rice has recently reached kind of an ideal yearly class number, and I think a lot of these aspects are kind of suffering because of them. With regards to housing, fewer and fewer people are guaranteed housing for the ideal amount of time that we'd like to have. Academics, classes are kind of growing in size, and there's some other issues we'll talk about once we have more time.
Sorry, I didn't know if we were going like all to the left or what. As my fault. I didn't mean to interrupt.
They will alternate, and you will go every once in a while.
Oh, yes. I can definitely do that. So, honestly, I think the biggest issue that Rice students have is that they don't have enough issues. You laugh, but seriously, like I think that a lot of the time in general, Rice students are apathetic. We all know it. It's a huge problem. We need to create a culture that makes every single student feel like they can actually make a difference. That's all I have to say.
All right. Second question. Navran, start. What do you plan to do to address the issue of student input, and what techniques and strategies will you employ?
Okay, so I've kind of been brainstorming, like, there are issues that I care about. I've talked about a student center, I also care about academics and housing. But the bottom line for me is getting as much kind of widespread involvement as possible. I think something that was kind of beta tested this past year was a petitioning system, and I really, really like that idea. I think of something like change.org, which has revolutionized activism throughout the world, and I think that's something that the Rice campus could really use. So I want to develop and expand a petitioning system in which when students have concerns, issues, causes they want to devote their time to, they can kind of communicate that through the platform. When a certain number of students kind of decide they want to work on that, the information would reach the SA and we'd work with the administration to get a response and kind of put together a task force to address whatever issues those may be.
So listening to the student body is like my highest priority to be your SA president. So to achieve this, I obviously need to be more visible, and this can be done by implementing an anonymous message system on the SA website. I know that Sid Rich and Lubbock College have these on their website where anyone can post certain messages or concerns, and I would check this daily. And I would go to the college cabinet meetings and reach out to people, and as Trent said, I would also promote the SA petition system, because that shows how all Rice students can be united behind this one certain issue. And I would also have office hours at colleges, just to like an informal way to reach out to students and to just say, I'm here to listen to your thoughts, and just like have them come up to me and to start discussion. And I would continue to seek more advice on how I can have the students' concerns be more noticeable and be more worked on.
Just something brief. Okay. I think the best way to get all the students' voice is to completely dissolve all sort of structure or hierarchy to Rice University. Now, before you get too excited, and some of you may claim this may resemble an anarchy, if you elect me, it'll actually be more of a dictatorship. and I can guarantee you that I will be the benevolent dictator that we all need.
This question begins with candidate Trent. There are no uncontested positions except for president this year. What do you plan to do to change that?
Well, I would work with the team of the SA Exec Board and the officers and college presidents to figure out a way on how to have more students be involved in the SA, and realize that the SA is there for all students to utilize and to speak their issues on. And even though all positions except for SA president have been uncontested, that won't hinder me from making the SA be more powerful, not necessarily powerful as in like, well, just more powerful to like reach out to more students and to make sure that the SA is there for everyone.
We're doing time signals with like 30 seconds left.
Yeah, 30 seconds, I'll raise my hand and I'll see.
So, yeah, this has kind of been really concerning to me, because fundamentally, why is this happening? Why aren't people going for these positions? And I think it's a problem that people aren't feeling like the SA actually gives them an opportunity to make a difference. People don't think the SA is the change-making hub of the campus. I know from working internally that it absolutely is. The SA's track record speaks for itself. The issues in academics, environment, student housing have literally transformed the campus in so many ways. We need to make that apparent to students. I think building strong relationships with residential colleges, leveraging relationships with college presidents, senators, new student representatives will really help in engaging people at the residential colleges. And if that can be done better, if the petition system can help give students a bigger feeling of agency, that combination of relationships, petitioning system, and just helping people know what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how they can get involved will really help people aspire to be involved with the essays activities.
And for me, the solution is simple. I would enlist a draft, and we just force people to assume positions. Obviously, they'll have at least a 2-day training, but I think that would be sufficient.
All right. The next question will begin with Navran. How would you facilitate cooperation between campus organizations?
So I think cooperation between campus organizations kind of starts with awareness of what's going on and kind of shared goals. So I think helping foster particular themed collaboration, themed partnerships would be really helpful. I think the essay has already taken steps towards bringing together groups that do student service, for example, and helping them kind of have leaders butt heads and come up with new ideas for service projects and collaboration. I think what I did last year with the Entrepreneurship Collaborative is another way. You take the theme of entrepreneurship and you bring student leaders together, and that kind of trickles down into the rest of the group and gets everyone involved. So bringing together student leaders among all the different groups, helping them have more conversations, using the essay budget to kind of put together some mixers and some think tanks, those sort of things could be really helpful, especially when we theme and hone in on kind of things like entrepreneurship, leadership development, arts and culture, those kind of things.
As Trent mentioned, I would also emphasize cooperation among all the student organizations, and I would promote the idea that the essay is there for all the student organizations to promote any events that might be happening, and to think of different ways for students to come out to events and to just emphasize the idea that through events, students can meet more students and learn about different cultures and different organizations.
And again, for me, simple solution, you just throw them in a ring, let them duke it out. Not only will this improve communication between people, but it'll also enhance our athletics program. We can finally take the national championship of wrestling. And by wrestling, I mean the theatrical kind, not the real kind.
All right. Next question, just a reminder, you have a minute 30 for the first question. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. And also a reminder to the audience to be thinking of questions and to be writing those down and signaling. Be collecting those throughout. All right. Next question. How do you plan to communicate with the administration?
Well, with the administration, I would first gather input from student body on certain issues, like, hey, we have this issue, how can we convince the administration that we are all behind this issue? How can we have change? And from then on, I would work with my team of essay exec board and officers and college presidents to figure out a way to let the administration know that this issue is crucial. And then from then on, I would meet with all needed people, Dean Hutch and any other members of the administration, to stress the importance of that specific issue.
Okay, well, I guess to start, I'm very excited that the very structure of the essay president is such that you're meeting with Dean Hutchinson on a weekly basis. You have the opportunity to meet with President Leahy once a semester. So I definitely take advantage of those opportunities to interface with administration. I also know that as an essay president, it's quite easy to interface with other people in administration, such as Vice President Kirby, etc. I think that the key is, though, within the structure, what can I actually do? And I think it's important to communicate and form actionable goals. So when I'm talking to administrators, what are the outcomes actually going to be of my interactions? So I would want to brainstorm with college leadership, with essay leadership, ideas for what kind of change we actually want to bring about. And in talking to administration, I want to be able to leave meetings knowing, what the direct response is and what exactly we can do to be accountable to students and actually make change happen on campus regarding student concerns.
And I would like to remind everyone that I'm actually not running for the post of essay president, I'm running for vice president. So when I take former President Lebron's post, I will be the administration. So I could like talk to myself in a mirror, I guess.
All right. The next question. How do you plan to interface with the residential colleges and their respective governments?
Okay, well, the first thing that definitely comes to mind is taking advantage of what already exists in the essay structure, which is a lot of FaceTime, meals, meeting time with college presidents. I think that's something that historically has been there, but only recently has become something very valuable in the priorities of an essay president. So I think on a weekly basis, not only would I be meeting and brainstorming and coming up with ideas with these college presidents, I would really want to be building relationships, because leadership really is only effective when you have quality relationships. Beyond that, though, I not only want to make sure that these college presidents and senators and NSRs are reaching out to their peers, I want to make sure that I have time at each college. So I would take time to attend cabinets, have meals with people in the colleges, and kind of just make myself present so that I know what's happening at any given point within in residential college atmospheres. But I'd really be dependent upon and really value the relationships I have with college leadership, because they can really help me understand what's going on in any part of the campus.
I would form a strong bond with my team of college presidents, and I would also go to college cabinet meetings and have office hours at colleges during meal times. This would be a great opportunity for students to just come up to me and just have like an informal or a formal discussion about what issues the essay president and the essay in general should work on. And I would, from there, I would promote the essay and tell them that the essay is there for everyone as a resource for them to push their concerns and issues. And I would make myself more visible to colleges and just like learn about each college culture and just tradition, and just like be a true rice owl, just learning about each other and forming good friendships.
So this idea I'm actually really stoked about. Monday margarita nights. So we put margarita machines in the servery. I'll go. Not only will I get honest feedback from students, they will finally shut up about how bad the food is because they'll be too drunk they can't taste it.
Bold. All right. For the last question in the pressure round, I hope you guys have been writing questions. Final question from us, though, will be led up by Andy Trent. And the question is as follows. In your opinion, what were some of the greatest accomplishments of the past year's essay leadership?
Well, I think the development of the essay petition system started the fact that the essay cares about students' concerns, and also just having like more discussion and more opportunities for the essay, for students to come up to the essay to talk about any issues that need to be discussed on campus. And just like starting any discussions about parking, grade inflation, and just paving a pathway for more change and more actual efficient discussion.
Yeah, I was really excited to hear that the petition system is something that's been put out. As I said earlier, I think it has extensive potential to really engage students in a much more broad way. But beyond that, I was really excited that Yunjin and her team kind of helped improve transfer student housing. That was something that really wasn't as fixed, and I think that's a fantastic thing that's been accomplished. As essay president, you have to value the small wins, but sometimes you can be pretty darn excited when you do things like that. So addressing capacity issues like transfer student housing, I think is fantastic. I'm really excited about that. I also know that the student center issue is something that's going to be an ongoing one, but the fact that Yunjin and her team were able to kind of understand where the process is and kind of work on that more, that's provided me with really good insights and kind of a vision for how to continue that process of keeping kind of an open dialogue with the administration. And then in general, fostering a better relationship with registrar to address student course registration issues regarding labs, LPAPs, whatever it may be. Deepening those relationships for long-term change is just a really good idea.
All right, thank you so much.
Oh no, it's fine, it's fine.
Okay. Right. So these are some of your questions. I'm going to start with general questions for everyone, and then I'll try and get to the ones about for specific candidates. Great. So first question, the same time structure will be Mr. Navran will lead. What is your opinion on career services for non-engineers?
Okay, so I remember as a freshman coming in, and the CCD was just starting to kind of take a formal presence of having a lot of structure and providing a lot of opportunities. And just this past week, I went to the career fair and saw that there were over 140 employers at the career fair for Rice students. Now, those were largely oil and gas and engineering internships and jobs, and I was frankly disappointed that there weren't more offerings for humanities and social science students. But I do want to give kind of credence to the fact that there is development happening. The CCD and career services in general has been expanding dramatically. Preparation for resumes and interviews has definitely been growing. So I think we need to acknowledge the progress that's taking place, but definitely value and continually push the fact that there has to be more opportunities available for non-engineers. So it's going to be up to student input and also to the CCD to continue pushing forward opportunities that extend beyond oil and gas and beyond kind of the conventional engineering and finance related internships and jobs.
So at the career fair, more opportunities for engineering students and for oil and gas companies, as Trent mentioned. But since this is a concern for all our students, I would, if I am elected as a president, I would take this as an issue that I would work on enhancing the CCD relationship with all Rice students so that any student of any major can have equal opportunities for more internships.
Great. Next question goes to all.
Can I say something?
Oh, of course.
Okay, cool. Honestly, when I first came to Rice, I thought the CCD stood for Consulting Career Development. I just wanted that joke. No, but seriously, it's a no-brainer. Yeah. Do you know
All right. Next question. Do you think the colleges should follow the essay, or should the essay follow the college's lead? Sorry, this question is to Tim.
Okay. Well, for that question, the essay and colleges should work together because one factor and one faction can't lead. We all must work together so that we can have actual results and actual improvement. We all need to work together.
Let me pivot this question slightly. Where do you think most ideas come from?
Well, yes, ideas. I would say they come equally because colleges start, well, can you rephrase that question, please?
Yeah, so where do you think most kind of development of student issues or kind of student input comes from? Is the essay following the lead of the colleges, or is the colleges, or is the other way around?
Well, since most, I think for issues, they start at colleges and the colleges come to the essay saying that this is an issue that the essay should tackle, and then from then on, the colleges and the essay would work together to promote that issue.
Great, sorry, that's a pretty open-ended question.
Yeah, I mean, I might even want to challenge that question because I think fundamentally ideas for change and solutions in general come from students. I really don't care if it's a student who's attending essay meetings or a student who's going to town halls at their college. These ideas come from Rice students. And I think the key here is just to see where those ideas can be best implemented, best put into effect. So if the ideas relate specifically to a college culture, then that makes sense to go and be kind of dealt with college government. But if the idea is something that can really benefit the campus in a more broad sense, or if it's something that could be kind of exported to other colleges, then that's where it should come to the essay to be dealt with. So I don't see like a causal relationship between the essay following the colleges or college. I think ideas come from students, and they just have to be communicated and dealt with in a way that's most efficient, and allows students to kind of implement them in the scale and with the vision that they were intended to have. So if there are students who are trying to change Rice-wide programs or Rice-wide initiatives or Rice-wide culture, then I think the essay is a perfect kind of hub for that. But I see it all as a very kind of collaborative, synergistic relationship, and I'd rather not kind of put any causal distinctions there. I think
it's more of an issue of scale.
I think so.
Sure. So the college and the essay are just two fundamentally different systems. I think one could argue that more ideas are going to come from the college, but the thing is those ideas are going to be specific to the college because more students are actually active at the college. You can actually change things more freely in a college, and students can think that students believe that they can make more of a difference in a college. Because honestly, all you really have to do is like spread an idea through students, and because students are doing like most of the work, there's not that as much oversight as there is for essay. More can happen on the college level as on the essay level. But I think that the thing that we really need to change is we need to get students that would just be engaged in the college, thinking that they can make the same impact that they could make in a college on the campus-wide level. So I think that essay, open communication, open it up to all the students, make each student think that they can actually make a difference.
That was surprisingly well thought out.
It was not very well thought out. It came out.
All right, I think this will be the final question before we have a few specific questions for candidates, but we'll still continue this order, so Navran will lead. If the new constitution is ratified, how will you go about implementing it?
Can you refer to the specific part that's being ratified?
This is an open-ended question. I'm not sure if anyone would like to clarify.
Yeah, I appreciate some
The
clarity.
entire event.
But like the change, the kind of constitutional change being.
Being the old one ceases to exist and the new one is.
I would implement it with absolute integrity and in-depth knowledge of what that Constitution includes. What it changes. I got to be frank with you guys. I studied abroad last semester. I've been readjusting to Rice. I'm eager to know what the ratification is and believe that I have the ability to navigate any changes that are made. I think the responsibility of the essay president isn't going to change. The essay president would need to know what the changes are made and depend on the team to execute properly.
From what I understand, there are very minute changes, like changing the date from like 14 days to 17 days after you submit a petition for like have the election stuff. So they're very minute changes, and I don't know how that would actually change the essay. But I mean, if it's for the best, it's for the best.
I'm going to answer too. So first of all, I would completely throw that constitution out and write a new one for myself, and then I would rule with an iron fist. Because as benevolent dictator, all that stuff, yeah.
Now that I have a follow-up question, what do you guys think you could do to make sure people are aware of these changes? We'll leave it there.
Well, I guess I can like spread awareness about the changes through my office hours at colleges, just through word of mouth and just having conversations with any Rice hey, did you know that this happened? Did you know this happened? Just the impact of word of mouth and just talking to people can really make big changes. Just talking to people, talk.
So, funny thing, about 30 minutes ago, I was sitting right over there when the Constitution was ratified, and 30 minutes later, I did not recall the ratification. So, the point is, when things are important, they need to be communicated. When changes are smaller, I don't think the average Rice student needs to be aware of them. What I really liked was that essay minutes are presented in the Thresher, and I really like the fact that there's been a deepening relationship with the Thresher. I think that can be continued and done on a weekly basis so that relevant and important and changes that affect students on a daily basis can be put in there. something I did as an NSR in the Senate was going to cabinets and kind of talking about key issues that are up for debate, up for voting, and you know, empowering our senators, empowering our presidents in the college system and new student representatives to communicate important changes and also communicate relevant referendums like the voting for catalysts and the voting for the environmental collaborative. Those are kind of things that need to be put out there and discussed openly, whether it's through the thresher or through the college system.
Yeah, so as we all know, the essay only has so much reach. I think that, like, I really do agree that, like, the thresher and the essay have, like, a good relationship going and should, like, continue being built. But I also think that the essay should build stronger ties with the colleges themselves. Of course, if you elect me, I would just make daily propaganda videos and make them mandatory to watch. So everyone will have every bit of information nailed into their head.
I think you missed an easy Pony Express joke there.
No!
This question is for Trent. One of your proposed projects is a new student center. Could you speak to what you would do different from the current essay plan already designed to engage students?
Yeah, so this is something I've spoken to different people, including Imogen and Ravi, about, and it's just, I think I'm already prepared to accept that as essay president, some changes that require millions of dollars of funding are not going to happen during my term, but there are tangible steps I can take in raising awareness about the issue, encouraging student involvement, and making sure that whatever the administration is doing related to the student center is more open. So I think what could be done is to kind of broaden a section on the essay website that talks about very relevant student issues that kind of exist with the petition system. There could be kind of a better job done to develop and expand that, and also publicize that. I'm not sure how many people even know there's a petitioning system out there. But related to that petitioning system could just be a change-making hub or a center on the website that just talks about relevant issues that helps kind of let students know, A, what is happening with the student center, and B, what role they can have in advancing the construction. So in meetings that I have with administrators and ideas that come up, I want those to be openly communicated. And I just think transparency is really going to be vital here as we advance the construction of a student center.
All right, this is a separate question for Minji. If you spend time on office hours and go to different college cabinets, how are you going to be able to balance your academic life with essay issues?
Well, that's a really good question. And currently I'm a poli-sci major, and I mean, not to you, like, oh, I'm a poli-sci major. So it's not like as intense requirements as other majors, and that's all right. But I mean, I think one of my strengths is balancing all my time commitments and my stuff that I have. And if I'm elected as an essay, the essay will be my priority. Like, if it takes me like to sleep late, I'll do that. I mean, like, I want to like reach out to students, and I like enjoy talking to people. So I'm all for going to the colleges for office hours. I will do whatever it takes to fulfill my goals and my aspirations as essay president.
No one wrote you any specific questions. If you'd like to ask yourself one.
I think I know the answer to all of my own questions, so I'm going to stay silent.
Great.
I also can't think of anything.
All right. So now we'll go to the final stage, which will be our closing arguments, closing statements. Navran led the debate, so he'll also lead closing statements, and we'll close.
All right. So tonight, Minji and I have had the chance to speak from our hearts about our experiences, values, and our vision for Rice. Tonight and throughout my campaign, I have mentioned my plans for an online petitioning system, which will gain valuable campus-wide perspective on student issues. It will help make student interactions with administration more transparent, democratic, and influential. In line with that, I will advance the creation of new student centers, we've clearly discussed here, ensuring that students know at what stage the process currently is at, and also ensuring that students can voice ideas, express concerns, and have opportunities to advance the completion of a student center through their skills and creativity. With housing and academics issues, I plan to relay student concerns and input to the administration, working to put in place actionable goals. Whether it's planning to hire new faculty, build additional housing or parking facilities, or create new academic and housing policies, I will put forth projects and processes that allow for transparency and involvement of all interested undergraduates. I care a lot about effective communication and information flow, and will build strong relationships with SA and residential college leadership, bridging interests and ideas to ensure effective planning, collaboration, and engagement of all interested students. Combined with an expanded petitioning system, my work to foster a cohesive group of SA executives, college presidents, senators, and new student representatives will be done with the firm belief that projects can be executed more successfully with a strong atmosphere of openness, respect, and friendship. I feel like I can learn a lot and contribute a great deal as your SA president, but it also just boils down to a key goal. I want to ensure that Rice students feel empowered to own their college experience and realize the positive changes they hope to make. With demonstrated experience, drive, values, and vision, I know I can put forth my very best towards realizing this goal. It would be an incredible honor to serve the Rice student body in this way, and I would be grateful to have your support. Thank you.
It's important to note that work is done not by just talking about issues at meetings or giving speeches, but by contacting and meeting with Dean Hutch and the administrators, faculty, and staff. I am confident that I can accomplish many things, especially with the involvement of the student body. I will aim to create one big community amongst the university, and to achieve this, I need to listen to my fellow Rice Owls, and this can be done by implementing an anonymous message system on the SA website, going to cabinet meetings, promoting SA's petition system, and having office hours at colleges. And I will continue to seek advice on how Rice can be more unified. More importantly, I will be constantly looking for things to improve upon. I will not be focusing the presidency around just a few issues. I expect to focus on more issues by listening to students' concerns and working with the SA Exec Board, officers, senators, committee chairs, and directors, and college presidents. I enjoy working on promoting students' interests and our interests, and I want to continue this as your SA president. I have the dedication, passion, experience to serve as your SA president. I will focus on issues that Rice Owls want to work on. I will work hard to promote our interests, and I will be honored to serve as your SA president. Thank you.
So first off, I just wanted to thank everyone that actually had to put work into this, especially as I just make a complete mockery of the entire process. Obviously everything I say is overly critical, yet I hope you can pick out the little undertones of truth that I mean in everything. And with that same caveat, I am going to give another rant that is also overly critical. Okay. So if it seems like I'm angry, it's because I am. More specifically, it's because I love this university. Well, actually, it's because I love the idea of this university. I love what this university is supposed to represent. I love the university that I applied to, the university that we were all told exists here, the undergraduate university who also has research, not the research university who also has an undergraduate education. It's the simultaneous individuality and communal embrace that makes this university completely unique, and it freaking pisses me off to see the current shift towards a single politically correct Rice brand. I've been able to contribute to this culture by continually fighting upstream, but what I'm proposing is to simply blow up the river and reestablish the direction in which it flows. The essay is not here to be the translation of the student voice into the administration's conservative language. The essay is here to be the direct avenue through which we communicate our true thoughts to the administration. So let's not settle for the few puny battles that we could possibly win. Let's set out for the changes we actually want on this campus. Let's reclaim our culture. Let's reclaim that Rice that's really worth experiencing. Let's keep Rice unique, and above all, let's keep Rice weird. And as I close, I'd like to evoke a message that was shared by my predecessors, Eric Tanner and Denis Leahy. I want you all to think of the aspects of Rice which you love most. For me, these are O-Week, Bear Bike, student-run businesses, an on-campus pub, Baker 13, etc., etc. Then I want you to think whether If proposed through the essay today, these traditions could actually become a staple on Rice's campus. If your answer is no, you know which candidate's message Rice really needs. And as a hint, it's mine. So vote for me and send a message to this university that everything is not okay. Send that message that we want change, and not the change that they're bringing on. Thank you.